Good afternoon, folks. Don Tyson coming to you live from the Fort Cobb Broxton Gymnasium on campus of Fort Cobb Broxton High School. Glad you could join us for the season opener of Mustang basketball. Glad you're along with us. Hope you enjoy the broadcast. It's been quite a season, or quite a year, as you know, with COVID has taken over kind of a lot of things that we do in our society since about the middle of March, and it's affected our ball game tonight as well, as we've kind of got a little change tonight as the someone associated with the girls program at Indiahoma was tested positive for COVID today, so the Indiahoma girls did not make the trip, and so we'll have one ball game tonight. Will be the Fort Cobb Mustangs taking on the Indiahoma Warriors. When last we saw these Mustangs, if you remember, way back in the first week of March in the State Fair Arena, lost a heartbreaker to Stewart in the first round of the state tournament on a tip-in just after the buzzer, I would say. But anyway, Fort Cobb was eliminated in the last game that we saw in the state quarterfinals, and a lot of things have transpired. The next week, of course, you remember the state tournaments in the upper classes were canceled, and the NBA season was canceled, and our world was kind of turned upside down, and as a result of that, there's been a lot of changes here in the local gymnasiums. The administration here at Fort Cobb has set up some protocols to allow a limited number of people into the gym, and so therefore they invested in this streaming network to go out over the web, so all those folks who not able to attend the games are able to stay at home and watch the ball games on their laptops or their television, so we're thankful for that. We also want to thank our sponsors tonight. All season long, we have some sponsors that are sponsoring this broadcast. Carnegie Telephone Company, Ouachita Valley Bank, ABC Superior Realty, Shelley Dissy is your agent there, and also the Southwest Driving School over at Anadarko, operated by Mr. Kent Sexton. So we want to thank all those folks for sponsoring our broadcast this year, and I hope you'll go by and tell them how much you appreciate it, being able to stay at home and still continue to support your Mustangs. Another obviously big newsworthy item for the Fort Cobb Broxton Mustangs is, as most of you know, is Coach Scott Hines, who went into the hospital with COVID back in the middle of July, and was in the hospital for 3 months, and very serious illness. And we're proud to say, and thankful to say that he's home and improving. And as a matter of fact, he's in attendance with us tonight. I was really thrilled to see him as I walked in the gym today. He's seated behind the Fort Cobb bench, and so I'm happy to see that Scott's feeling well enough to come to the gymnasium tonight. We're sure thankful the prayers were answered that he was able to recover and get out of the hospital. He's got a long road ahead of him, but keep him in your prayers, folks. It's going to take a while for him to completely overcome this virus, and we're just thankful that he's here with us tonight. I'm sure he's on pins and needles, not being able to do much about the outcome of the ball game, but the team is in the very capable hands of Dale Bellamy, who has been assisting Coach Hines for a number of years, and Dale is a head baseball coach here at Fort Cobb Broxton, and built a very fine baseball program. They're perennially state tournament participants. As a matter of fact, this past baseball season they played in the state finals. They were defeated by Canute in the championship game 1-0. So Dale is an outstanding coach in his own right, and so he's going to have control of the Mustangs this evening and into the future until Scott gets to feeling better. So we're glad we've got a very capable coach in Dale Bellamy. I know that he'll do an outstanding job coaching these Mustangs. We're about set to have our national anthem, as the public address announcer Bryce Davis is now introducing, welcoming the visitors from Navajo. And we're going to pause just a moment as we have our national anthem in just a few moments. He's making some last-minute announcements about some things that some of the protocols that they have in place here at the gymnasium tonight, and it's quite amazing when I look across in the home opener and not as very many fans as we normally have. It's usually a sold-out house, but we're going to pause right now for the national anthem. And now are set for the starting lineups for the Indiahoma Warriors. They are coached by Mr. Zach Gibson. And they played a game earlier this week. They played Navajo, and they were defeated by Navajo 50-35. Their starters are a sophomore number 3, DeHosen Sunray, a junior number 10, Dylan Plaster, a junior number 11, Trace Thomason, a junior number 15, Quentin Watson, and a sophomore number 33, Antonio Reyna. That will be Sunray, Plaster, Thomason, Watson, and Reyna for the Indiahoma Warriors. And for the home team, Fort Cobb Broxton Mustang, coached tonight by Dale Bellamy. And the starters are sophomore number 2, Jackson Willits, a sophomore number 33, Ian Taylor, a junior number 11, Drew Woods, a senior number 31, Rocky Mountain, and a senior number 12, Tyson Eastwood. As the teams now take the floor, we're about set to go. Excited for the home opener of Fort Cobb Broxton basketball in the 2020-21 season. Mustangs are a perennial state title contender and look for another outstanding season this year, as they've got several returning starters off of last year's club, as they are huddled now in their home white uniforms, and Indiahoma in the road black uniforms. We're about set to go. Fort Cobb will be traveling right to left here as we start the game. We'll have Ian Taylor jumping center against Dylan Plaster. And we're about set to go. And the ball is controlled by the Mustangs, and Drew Woods will set up the offense for the Mustangs. Indiahoma comes out in a man-to-man defense. Three-pointer on the way by Willits. It won't fly. And the rebound is controlled by the Warriors. Into the front court. That is Plaster. Mustangs in a man-to-man defense as well. Running a weave out front. Three-pointer on the way. No good off the back iron. Ball tapped out and into the backcourt. We're going to have a foul, I believe, on Rocky, or Ian Taylor, I should say. So far, both teams have missed three-pointers. Just underway here in the opening period. Mustangs always known for that man-to-man defense they play, or good defense, I should say, not always a man. There's a three-point shot good by Quentin Watson, and puts Indiahoma on top 3-0. Eastwood, top of the key. Good ball handler. One of the premier players in Class A. Crossover dribble into the paint. Jumper, no good. Rebound, Indiahoma. They'll set up the offense. There's another left wing three, no good. A little bit too strong that time by Watson. Willits on the drive. Nice reverse layup, but they called him for travel. Turnover to the Warriors. Checking in for Indiahoma will be J.J. McClung, number 34. .6:33 to play, opening period. Indiahoma on top 3-0. As I mentioned, they played earlier. Their first game was Tuesday night, and they were defeated by Navajo 50-35. So they've already got those first game jitters out of their system, and this will be their second game of the season. Mustangs, this is their home opener, or season opener, I should say. Long three-pointer, right side no good by McClung. So far, they've taken 4 3-point shots. Eastwood now on the handle. Backs it back out, goes around a defender. Left-handed shot's no good, but he's going to pick up a foul on a good drive by Tyson Eastwood. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And the foul is charged to Dylan Plaster. It'll be his first personal. And the first free throw good by Eastwood. Mustangs on the board as he'll have another. Missed that one. 1 out of 2 from the line. Indiahoma on top 3-1. So far, Indiahoma's main attack has been 3-point shots. They've attempted 4 of them, made 1. Nice defense by Rocky Mountain, and he's going to tie up Antonio Reyna, as Mountain, with those long arms and quick hands, was able to get a tie-up situation, but it'll stay with Indiahoma on the alternating possession. Inbounding will be Trace Thomason. Crossover dribble, gets around Taylor. Shot rejected, taken away by Taylor. Outlet to Eastwood, all the way down, gets by his defender, shot off the glass and good, and he's going to pick up a blocking foul on Trace Thomason. Excellent work that time by Tyson Eastwood. And he'll go to the line for the old-fashioned 3-point play. And it's good. Tyson with all 4 of the Mustang points so far. They lead it 4-3. Into the front court, that's Plaster with it, Dylan Plaster. The right side to McClung, long right wing 3, won't fly. Once again, that's their attack, long 3-point shots. There's Taylor, he'll try a right wing bay, no good. Willits gets the rebound. Back to Taylor, thought about it, now over to Woods. And we're going to have a 3-second violation on Willits, who looks like he may have sprained his ankle a minute there. And checking back in for the Warriors will be DeHosen Sunray. Almost halfway through the first period, Mustangs on top 4-3. They swing it around left side, Watson with it. Now out front to Thomason. Mustangs kind of trying to spread that defense out a little bit. DeHosen, Sunray, his 3-pointer won't go. And we're going to have a foul charged on the Warriors. That's Antonio Reyna. That'll be his first personal. And a third-team foul on the Warriors. Low-scoring game so far. Interesting that the Indiahoma team is they've had 6 field goal attempts, and they've all been 3-point shots. They've converted on their first one. So they've gone on a cold stretch here. They're 1 out of 6, missed their last 5. Woods on the handle out front, dribbles into the paint, bounce pass to Willits. He'll drive. Little 6-footer in front of the basket's good by Jackson Willits for his first basket of the night. Makes it 6-3 our score. There's a 15-footer by Plaster, and it's too hard off the back iron, but he's going to be fouled. And the foul is going to be charged to Ian Taylor, and that's his second personal. And the second team foul. Dylan Plaster will be shooting 2 for the Warriors. And the first free throw, no good. Checking in will be Jake Biddy, senior guard for the Mustangs, replacing Ian Taylor. As Dylan Plaster will have one more attempt. And it's good. Eastwood into the front court for the Mustangs. Mustangs on top 6-4. Biddy with it, hits a cutting Woods. Left side, little 6-footer, good. Drew Woods with his first basket. Makes it 8-4. Now Indiahoma trying to attack a little bit. Once again, there's a long three-point shot. This time it's good by Quentin Watson. And he cans his second three-pointer of the night. He's 2 out of 3 from long range. Makes the score 8-7. Eastwood with a nice drive along the baseline. Shot off the glass, won't good. And there's going to be a whistle and a foul on the rebound, as Rocky Mountain was able to corral the rebound. And Eastwood will inbound for the Mustangs along the baseline. 3.5 to play, opening period. Mustangs on top 8-7. Lobs it into Mountain, but Biddy tracks it down. Over to Willits. Indiahoma playing pretty good man-to-man defense so far. Biddy with it. Rocky Mountain will try a left wing three. No good off the back iron. Mustangs not shooting it all that well themselves. We'll have some percentages for you at the end of the first period. Once again, Indiahoma running that weave out front. They're just trying to get open for a three-point shot, it appears. Now there's an elbow jumper. 15-footer won't go by Plaster. Eastwood, 17-foot straightaway, good. Tyson Eastwood. That's 6 for Eastwood so far. So he's 2 out of 4 shooting. And the Mustangs lead it 10-7, 2.5 to play, opening period. Three-pointer on the way, no good off the back iron this time by Watson. They get the rebound. Watson has it back, 18-footer straight away, no good. His first two-point attempt wouldn't go. Willits with a nice drive, 8-footer won't blow. And we're going to have a whistle and a stoppage as Coach Dale Bellamy takes a timeout. I believe Rocky Mountain is hustling off the floor, maybe some sort of a equipment issue or contacts or something, but anyway, he went to the locker room, and replacing him is number 32. That's Aiden Lewis, sophomore forward for the Mustangs. With 2:10 to play, opening period, Mustangs on top 10-7. Indiahoma chance to tie with a three-pointer here. They've shot a bunch of them so far. There's Sunray over to DeHosen, still has it. Back to Plaster, top of the key. They're pretty well content to work it around the perimeter. Of course, the Mustangs have a good defense. It's hard to get to the goal, get to the rim against this defense usually as general rule. Outstanding defensive ball club for a number of years. That's what Coach Hines has preached since he came here back in the 90s. Three-pointer on the way this time by McClung. It's no good. He's 0 for 3 from that distance. And Jackson Willits with a rebound. He'll bring it into the front court. To Woods with 1:22 to play, opening period. Bounce pass to Eastwood. To Woods, top of the key, back to Eastwood. Little 17-footer, good. Tyson Eastwood, that's pretty hard to stop that right there. That's 8 on the night so far for Eastwood. Gives the Mustangs their biggest lead at 12-7 with 1:03 to play, opening period. Indiahoma looks like they're going to kind of be content to run some clock here at the end of the period. Don't really blame them on the road here against a top 2 or 3 team in the state. It's a 12-7 ball game. Give them time to catch your breath. Out front is Dylan Plaster dribbling. Coach Gibson now giving him some instructions about what to do on this final set. I'd like to thank once again our sponsors, Ouachita Valley Bank, Fort Cobb, Carnegie Telephone Company, ABC Superior Real Estate, Miss Shelley Dissy, and the Southwest Driving School, Mr. Kent Sexton, located over in Anadarko. Thanks to all those folks for bringing the broadcast to you. There's a drive, a little 17-foot crossover shot, good, that time by Dylan Plaster. And there's a shot by Jackson Willits, no good at the buzzer. And that will do it. At the end of the first period, the Mustangs lead it 12-9. Try to give you some statistics here during the break. First of all, for Indiahoma, they have shot, let me try to figure these in my head. Their shooting percentage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 shots. And they have made 3 of them. 3 out of 12. What their percentages are. Scoring for Indiahoma is Dylan Plaster with 3 points. And Quentin Watson, he has 6 points. And that accounts for their 9. For the Mustangs, Tyson Eastwood is 3 of 5 shooting. He's got 6, 7, 8 2 free throws and 3 field goals for 8 points. And Jackson Willits 2 for 3 shooting, and he has 4 points. So far the only, and then Rocky Mountain missed a 3-pointer, and Ian Taylor missed a 3-pointer. So Mustangs are shooting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 50%, 6 out of 12 for the Mustangs. As we start the second period of play, Mustangs with the basketball. Willits with it, right side. They lead it 12-9. Hands it off to Woods. Indiahoma's played pretty well so far. They haven't shot it particularly well, but they've kept the game fairly close here. Now Eastwood trying to drive. Little 17-foot straightaway jumper's good, and I'll tell you what, that's pretty hard to stop right there. He has that great jump shot where he elevates so well, and he gets the ball high over his head. And about the only way you can defend that is if you get right in his face, you're going to hit him on the forearm and draw a foul. So it's a very difficult shot to defend. And when he's hot, the Mustangs really usually roll pretty good. 14-9, Fort Cobb on top. And Indiahoma content to be pretty patient here on offense. There's Dylan Plaster. His 15-footer won't go. Nice rebound that time by Rocky Mountain. Nice move by Eastwood. Lays it over the front of the rim and good. Tyson Eastwood is unstoppable right now as he's 5 out of 7 from the floor. 12 points. The press, Mustangs come out in a press. And immediately we're going to have a foul. Well, they say the foul is going to be charged to Tyson Eastwood. As the Mustangs have that ability to put a press on, and it seems like there's 8 players out there on defense a lot of times, and they really cause a lot of havoc when they get in that press. They're going to back out of it now. 16-9 our score. Indiahoma with it. Out front, Plaster, guarded by Willits. Left side, Thomason, and they play catch with it out front. Running a weave out there. There's a 3-pointer by McClung. High off the rim, off the backboard. They get their own rebound, and Sunray can't get it. Plaster hands it off to Thomason. So a couple of offensive rebounds that time by Indiahoma, and they'll reset the offense. Out front, that's Plaster. There's a long 3-pointer good by Trace Thomason for his first basket of the night. And we're going to have a timeout taken by Coach Gibson of the Warriors as the Mustangs lead it 16-12. Once again, like to thank our sponsors this season, the Southwest Driving School, Mr. Kent Sexton, located over by the subway in Anadarko. Proud supporters of this broadcast this year, ABC Superior Real Estate Agency. Shelley Dissey is the owner and operator of that. Thank you very much, Shelley. Also, the Carnegie Telephone Company at Carnegie, Oklahoma, who install the internet for these broadcasts, and also the Ouachita Valley Bank of Fort Cobb. 16-12 our score. Mustangs on top with 5:54 to play in the second period. And little Bo Bellamy comes out to do a little sweeping of the hydration there on the floor. As we mentioned before the game, we're sure glad to see Coach Scott Hines in attendance tonight, as he's seated behind the Mustang bench, and along with his wife Becky, and sure glad to see him out and about tonight. Drew Woods into the front court. Biddy flashed across the baseline, couldn't see him. Time to get the pass to him. Now Biddy has it out top of the key. Right side Eastwood, who's made 5 shots in a row here. Now they're going to try to double team, try to trap him over there. They get it down low to Rocky Mountain. Shot no good but he picks up the loose ball and misses the shot, but he's fouled. Good work that time by Rocky Mountain. He just missed a point blanker, though, that he'd normally like to see him make. Great play that time by Eastwood as they went out to trap him, and he found the open man. Rocky couldn't convert it, but he's at the line shooting 2, and he makes the first. First point of the night for Rocky. And he'll have one more, and he makes them both 2 for 2 at the line. Makes it 18-12. Now the Mustangs come out in that 2-2-1 press. If they can cause some turnovers here and get a little distance here in the scoreboard. Rocky Mountain with a quick hands. Left-hand layup good. Rocky Mountain with a nice steal and lay in. Now back to the press, 20-12. Fort Cobb build their biggest lead at 8. Indiahoma having a difficult time getting the ball across the timeline, and we're going to have a whistle and a timeout taken by Coach Zach Gibson, as they were nearing a 10-second call there. So good alert call there by the Coach Gibson to take a 30-second timeout, save a turnover. As the Mustangs, since they've gone to this press, they got an easy basket from Mountain, and also they got 2 free throws from Rocky Mountain. So they've tried to press 3 times, and they've scored 4 points off of it so far. And they have a number of things in their arsenal, the Mustangs do. They play man-to-man, real tight defense. They can go to this press. They can also go to a 1-3-1 half-court trap, which they're very effective at, especially when you have a couple of players like Ian Taylor and Rocky Mountain with those long arms. They really close down the passing lanes, and it's very difficult to pass around them or over them, so they'll create a lot of turnovers. They're going to back out of the press now after the timeout. 5 minutes exactly here in the second period. Indiahoma into the front court, long three-pointer, right side, good this time by Quentin Davis, or Quentin Watson, I should say. He's 3 out of 5 from distance right now. They like to shoot those three-pointers. Eastwood now on the handle. Right side Woods to Biddy, top of the key. Mustangs trying to move the ball a little quicker this time, and they're going to call Willits with shuffling his feet as he tried to make a quick move, and it'll be a turnover to the Warriors. 4.5 to play in the first half. Sunray on the handle, way out front to Thomason. Got to watch Watson. He's a good outside shooter. He's made 3 out of 5 three-pointers so far. There's near travel there to Sunray with it, between the legs dribble. Biddy all over him. Picks up his dribble. Trying to go against Jake. Now he'll pull up three-pointer straight away off the front iron. No good. Sunray. He's 0 for 3 from the field so far. Eastwood with a nice crossover move off the glass and good. And this will be his second three-point play attempt, as Eastwood has made 5 baskets in a row, and with 14 points so far. He'll have one free throw attempt. He's 2 out of 3 so far. And he cans 3 out of 4 at the line for the Eastwood. And checking in for the Mustangs will be Ian Taylor replacing Jake Biddy. Back to this 2-2-1 press. So far, Indiahoma hasn't handled it very well. He took a timeout the last time to try to make an adjustment. We'll see if it helped. Sunray dribbles into the front court. Eastwood taps it away from behind and tiptoes down the baseline and picks it up. Good work there by Tyson Eastwood. Cross-court pass is intercepted. DeHosen Sunray behind the back dribble into the front court. There's a drive, split the defender, laid it in. Nice move by Dylan Plaster. And that's his fifth point of the night. And it's 23-17. Warriors not going away quietly here. 3:22 to play in the first half. Pass down in the corner to Willits. Dribbles in the paint. Shot no good. Wouldn't get over the front of the rim, but Willits taps it out. Eastwood trying to control it. Finally does. Passes down low to Taylor and layup a good. Ian Taylor with his first basket of the night. Off a nice feed from Eastwood. Makes it 25-17. This time they break the press with no trouble. Long three-pointer by Thomason. No good. Get the offensive rebound. Plaster kicks it out front to Watson. Three-pointer good. Quentin Watson. That's 4 trays on the night for Quentin. Give him 12 points. He's 4 out of 6 from deep. Got to get a hand in his face. Now Willits will try to answer. Now he passes down to Rocky Mountain on a great feed from Willits to Rocky Mountain, and he lays it in for 2. 2:18 to play in the first half, and they're near steal. Plaster, wild pass is picked up by the Warriors. Cross court to Watson, another three-pointer. This time it's short, but they hustle after the rebound. Three-pointer this time no good by Plaster, and the Mustangs control it. 27-20 our score. Biggest lead of the ball game so far has been 8 that the Mustangs briefly held. Now Eastwood hands it off to Woods, and they're going to set up the offense. Kind of got a 1-4 setup. We'll see what they do here. Trying to get Eastwood alone, I'm sure. Bounce pass over to Rocky Mountain. Baseline three on the way. No good. Skips across the rim. A little too strong. Rocky so far 0 for 2 from three-point line. Mustangs have not made a three-pointer tonight. They're 0 for 4 from deep. But they've done all their damage. Eastwood's done all the damage in the paint. 1:12 to play in the half. Sunray hands it off to Thomason. Out front now, DeHosen Sunray hands it off to Plaster, and they swing it around the perimeter. Minute to play. Basically just trying to get Watson open for a three-point shot, I think, as Eastwood's tracking him. Not even really looking at the basket. They're just running a weave out front. Now Sunray will try a right wing three. No, short. Rebound, Indiahoma. Shot no good, and the ball's loose on the floor, and we're going to have a foul charge to Antonio Reyna as the Warriors missed a couple of shots on that possession. And we're going to have a timeout taken by Coach Dale Bellamy for the Mustangs to talk over the last 41 seconds of this half, as that's the 7th team foul on Indiahoma. And that was a 3rd personal foul on Antonio Reyna. At the line for the Mustangs will be Drew Woods. Drew's made one field goal. This will be his first free throw attempt. Trying to build on a 7-point lead for the Mustangs. First free throw, no good. Jackson Willits with the rebound. Putback's no good, but they're going to call him for traveling. Turnover to the Warriors. 37 seconds to play in the half. See what Indiahoma can muster here in the last half minute. I'm pretty well betting on a three-point shot because that's what they've mostly done so far. It's kept them in the game, really. They've made 5 three-pointers so far. Stationary dribble out in the center circle is Dylan Plaster. Now he'll start the offense, trying to get around Taylor. 15-foot elbow jumper, good. Nice move by Dylan Plaster. There's a long half-court shot by Willett, so good off the back side iron. And that'll do it. Your halftime score. Fort Cobb Broxton 27, Indiahoma 22. You're listening to FCB Mustangs.TV, brought to you by the Ouachita Valley Bank of Fort Cobb, the Carnegie Telephone Company in Carnegie, the ABC Superior Real Estate Agency, owner-operator Shelley Dissy, and the Southwest Driving School located in Anadarko, Oklahoma, and that's owned by Mr. Kent Sexton. I'd like to thank all those sponsors for bringing our broadcast. We're going to take a 2 or 3 minute break, and we'll come back, and I'll have a halftime report for you with some statistics.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Versatile. Can handle all of your school or business technology and wiring needs. Expanding into a new building or office space? We would love to give you a free quote for your network wiring. Are your computers outdated? Are your servers slow? Is your network underperforming? Is your wireless network weak? Let Versatile Networks come in and assess the situation and get you back up and running the way you should be. Call Versatile Networks today at 405-217-0267 or visit versatilenetworks.com for more information.
Stream like the pros with Squirtle Live. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
Score that perfect design at Touchdown Graphics just north of the curve in Pond Creek. They offer screen printing and embroidery on t-shirts, shorts, hoodies, and more. Show your spirit for your school, team, club, or special event with a custom design from Touchdown Graphics. Call 580-532-4579 or see them online at touchdowngraphics.com. Touchdown Graphics. It's good.
Had Maples Nixon do something.
Welcome back to Fort Cobb Broxton. We are at the half of our boys contest tonight. The Fort Cobb Broxton Mustangs lead it 27-22 over Indiahoma. Give you some halftime statistics here. First of all, for Indiahoma, their scorers were Trace Thomason had 3 points. Dylan Plaster had 7. And the leading scorer for the Warriors was Quentin Watson, who had 12 points. He was 4 out of 7 from the three-point arc in that first half. He's definitely a good outside shooter, and that's their scoring of 22, 12 for Mr. Watson. Overall, their percentages, they're 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. From the two-point field goal range, they were 3 out of 9 for 33%. From the three-point line, they were 5 out of 16 for 33%. Overall, they were 8 out of 25, shooting for 33%. So they didn't shoot it very well, but they made enough three-pointers to kind of stay in the game, and that accounts for a close score that we have here. On the other side, the Mustangs, scoring for the Mustangs were Drew Woods with 2, Ian Taylor with 2, Rocky Mountain with 4, Jackson Willis with 4, and the leading scorer so far tonight is Tyson Eastwood with 15, as he had an outstanding first half, as he was 6 out of 8 shooting, all two-pointers, and he was 3 out of 4 at the free throw line. Shooting percentages for the Mustangs at free throw line, they were 5 out of 7, and their overall shooting percentage 12 for 21 from the field for 57%. However, their three-point shooting, not too much to brag about so far tonight, is they're 0 for 4 three-point range. Failed to mention earlier, and I should have, one of the starters for the Mustangs, Kyler Denton, 6'4" forward for the Mustangs, is not playing this evening. I think he may be not in uniform. He's an outstanding pitcher for the Mustangs, and he had a little surgery on his elbow a couple of weeks ago, right after baseball season was over, and so they had to do a little cleanup work in his elbow, and so he's setting out tonight, and I don't know if he's going to miss another game or two, but Kyler Denton is an outstanding force for the Mustangs, not only shooting long-range shots, but also defensive rebounding, offensive rebounding. He's just a big stout, biggest guy on the team, and been a stalwart for the Mustangs for 4 years, and so they miss him. They miss his presence, certainly. I failed to mention that earlier in the ball game, but Collar will be back later in the season, but he's having to sit out here for a few games. All right, we're about to start the second half of action, and it will be Indiahoma with the basketball to start. And as I mentioned earlier, this is their second game of the season. They lost to Navajo on Tuesday night, 50-35, and so this is their second contest of the year, and we're set to go. Mustangs look like they have their original starting five, and does Indiahoma. DeHosen Sunray will start the offense. Willits on him. There's a bounce pass down the middle of the paint to Plaster. His shot won't go. And there's a rebound in the layup by Ian Taylor. Very nice work that time by Taylor, and the Mustangs come out in a 2-2-1 press. And we're going to have a travel in the backcourt. Good work that time by the Mustangs. Once again on that press. They cause a lot of havoc to a lot of teams over the years. 29-22, Mustangs on top by 7. Biggest lead so far has been 8. Woods has it. Out front to Willits. Top of the key. Indiahoma's played the same man-to-man defense the whole game. Taylor, three-pointer won't fly. Had a good open look at it. So far, the Mustangs 0 for 5 from the three-point line. Pretty unusual. Normally, they're an outstanding three-point shooting team. Opening season jitters, perhaps. There's a three-pointer. Watson, no good this time. But they get the offensive rebound. They've done that numerous times. I haven't been tracking rebounds, but I know Indiahoma's had a good number of offensive boards. Done a good job of hustling on that end. There's a drive and a layup good by Dylan Plaster. Very nice drive. So they come out the second half with a little bit different attack, as the first half was a barrage of three-point shots, and so far in the second half they've tried to get to the rim, and there's a steal. DeHosen behind the back pass. A layup good by Plaster. Dylan Plaster with 2 baskets in a row, and just like that, it's 29-26. Lead cut to 3. Eastwood on the handle. That'll solve things, I'm sure, but his shot's too hard off the glass. Taylor thought about it. Over to Willits. Right wing three. Good. Jackson Willits cans the first three-pointer for the Mustangs, and that was much needed. And now we'll go back to that press. It looks like Indiahoma's done a pretty good job of solving that. There's a three-pointer on the way. No good. Too strong by Thomason. And the Mustangs all the way down. Tyson Eastwood, that's 2 in a row he's missed from point-blank range, but the Mustangs get the rebound. Eastwood working down low. Rocky Mountain right wing three off the glass and good. The bank is open. That's the second three-pointer of the night for the Mustangs. They've hit 2 in a row now. Just like that, it's back to a 9-point difference. And we're going to have a double dribble. Once again, that pressure in the backcourt it wears on you. With Taylor and Rocky Mountain, as Rocky is going to take a breather. He looks kind of winded, and Jake Biddy's going to replace him. 5:07 to play in the third period. Mustangs got the lead up to 9. Biggest lead of the contest, off the strength of 2 straight three-pointers by Willits and Mountain. Biddy to Woods, top of the key. Behind the back dribble. Nice pass to Biddy, layup good. Beautiful play that time by Drew Woods, and Jake Biddy was a recipient of a nice pass, and he lays it in for 2. 37-26, double-digit lead for the first time. There's a steal by Eastwood, intercepted the pass, and he's going to be fouled immediately by Quentin Watson as Eastwood was headed for a layup. Good work once again on that press. And Rocky Mountain will come in replacing Jackson Willits for the Mustangs. Second foul on Quentin Watson. And the Mustangs will inbound. 4.5 to play here in the third period. Eastwood with it. Very hot in the first half, yet to convert here in the second, but there's a 15-foot elbow jumper. Hit the rim, no good. Might have got caught on the forearm that time, as he's missed 3 shots in a row here to start the second half. Both these teams have kind of mirror images defensively so far in the contest. There's a near steal. Watson gets free, and he's going to be fouled. I think Eastwood might have caught him on the wrist as he was about to get free into the basket, so this foul is probably not all that bad. And foul is going to be charged to 15. I don't think we got a 15 out there. There's a drive. Plaster lays it in for 2. Dylan Plaster with 3 baskets here and we're going to check that last foul call. I know we don't have a 15, and instead they're going to give it to 12. That would be Tyson Eastwood picks up the foul. That'll be his second. So we had a stoppage to clarify that. I didn't think that was correct when they said 15. But anyway, nevertheless, Dylan Plaster has done well here in the second half for the Warriors. He's 3 for 3. Eastwood now on the handle, trying to back his man down. Ball tapped away, gets it back, goes around his defender, layup good. Nice work that time by Tyson Eastwood. You're not going to hold him down for long. As he makes his first basket of the second half, getting him 17 so far. 11-point lead for the Mustangs, 3:15 to play in the third period. 3-pointer by Sunray, left baseline, no good. Rebound tapped around and controlled by the Mustangs. Ball knocked away. Good defense that time by the Warriors. Over to Watson. Thought about a 3-pointer, but Eastwood closed out on him well. Now they'll reset the offense with 2:50 to play, third period. Dylan Plaster. Long 3-pointer straight away, no good. By Sunray, he's 0 for 4 from deep. Long pass up ahead to Biddy, and he can't handle the pass, and it'll go out of bounds, turned over to the Warriors. Indiahoma into the front court. DeHosen, Sunray on the handle. To Plaster, top of the key. Played well the second half here. Over to Thomason, under heavy pressure. Back to Sunray. Biddy all over him, doing a good job. Poked it away briefly. Might have got away with traveling his pivot foot. Bounce pass down low to Antonio Reyna, and he lays it in for 2. And he was fouled on the shot. Count the basket, he says. And the foul is going to be charged to Rocky Mountain. That's his first personal as Jackson Willits checks in, replacing Drew Woods for the Mustangs. And Antonio Reyna will try his first free throw. And it's good. Antonio Reyna with the old-fashioned 3-point play. His first 3 points of the night. It's back to an 8-point game. 2:03 to play in the third. Eastwood gets a screen from Mountain. Setting his man up. What now? They come over to double team, over to Willits. Right wing 3 on the way. Good. Jackson Willits. And that's 2 3-pointers in a row for Jackson. And it's back to an 11-point lead, 42-31. That's 10 on the night for Jackson. Once again, they run that weave, trying to get a 3-point shot open, and there's a long 3-pointer, won't go by Thomason. And the Mustangs will bring it into the front court. Pass down low to Biddy, taps it out. Nice save to Taylor. To Eastwood, top of the key. Willits dribbled around a defender. Scoop shot's no good, but he's going to go to the line and shoot 2. Foul is charged to Dylan Plaster. Wonder if he's any relation to the Plasters that live here in Fort Cobb. That's the third personal on Dylan. And Jackson Willits will be at the line shooting 2. Jackson made 2 field goals first half and 2 3-pointers so far here in the second half. Now he'll have 2 free throws. 1:13 to play, third period. Mustangs led at 27-22 at the half. Biggest lead of the half was 8. They built the lead up to 11 right now. It's 42-31. As Bo Bellamy and the official are doing some good work out there mopping up the perspiration. Kind of icing our shooter, it appears. But anyway, Jackson is set to go. First free throw rims out. And checking in will be Aiden Lewis, replacing Rocky Mountain. And Drew Woods back in, replacing Jake Biddy, the Mustangs. And Willits will have one more. And he missed them both. Indiahoma with the rebound. Sunray, top of the key. Wood stops him. You don't get a lot of open looks against the Mustangs. They constantly playing that good defense, hallmark of Coach Hines and his teams over the years. That's the reason you see a lot of teams shoot a lot of three-pointers. They just can't get anything better than that. Shot over Lewis is no good. Good work that time by Aiden, as Reyna couldn't get the shot in. There's a drive by Eastwood, and they say he's going to be fouled on the drive. And the foul is charged to DeHosen Sunray. And that's the third team foul on the Warriors. So the Mustangs will inbound with 41 seconds to play in the third. Having trouble, finally gets it into Taylor way out front. Nice drive by Willits, 15-foot jumper good. Jackson Willits makes the score 44-31. 25 seconds to play, third period. Now we're going to switch up defenses. Coach Bellamy's going to go to this 1-3-1 trap here to end the quarter. Get the ball in the corner. Sunray three-pointer skips across the rim. And there's a foul on the rebound as Eastwood had it, and he's fouled by Trace Thomason with 9 seconds to play. That's 2 fouls on Thomason, so the Mustangs will have 9.09 seconds to travel the length of the floor. And Indiahoma's going to come give a little token pressure to kind of slow them down a little bit. Now Tyson with it. Between the legs dribble, into the front court, into the paint. Hands it off to Lewis, but it was tapped out of bounds with 1.58 seconds to play. Good hands that time by Indiahoma. And the Mustangs will have to get a shot off quickly here. Eastwood will inbound with 1.5 seconds to play. Trying to lob it into Lewis. Can't do it. Over to Woods. 12-footer on the way. No good. Had a good look at it. Woods couldn't get the shot to drop. At the end of 3 quarters of play, the Fort Cobb Broxton Mustangs 44, the Indiahoma Warriors 31. I'd like to thank our sponsors for bringing us this broadcast tonight. Southwest Driving School, located in Anadarko, Oklahoma, owned and operated by Mr. Kent Sexton. It's kind of a small world. When I was growing up in Lone Wolf, Oklahoma, many, many years ago, Kent Sexton's dad, Bill, was the superintendent at Lone Wolf at the time, and he and his family lived directly across the street from me back in the 1960s. So go by and see old Kent. Also like to thank ABC Superior Real Estate Agency. Shelley Dissy, outstanding real estate agent. If you want to buy or sell some property, she's the girl to call. Carnegie Telephone, located in Carnegie, Oklahoma. Outstanding internet service they provide. And the Ouachita Valley Bank here in Fort Cobb. Go by and see those folks. They'll help you any way they can. At the end of 3 quarters of play, the Mustangs lead it 44-31. 13-point lead, and that's our biggest so far tonight, as the Warriors have done a good job hanging in there with the Mustangs. They kind of cooled off there in that, in that third period on their 3-point attempts. They kept shooting them, but they didn't make as many. And Fort Cobb heated up. They were 0 for 4 in the first half, shooting 3-pointers. In the second half, they've made 3. Willits with 2 and Rocky Mountain with 1. So that's been a big help to extend the lead. And the Mustangs will have it to start the 4th period. preseason rankings that I know of have not been published, so I don't know what the polls would say that Mustangs, Indiahoma is a Class B school, Fort Cobb's Class A. There's a near steal. Willits pats it over to Woods as Indiahoma has really exerted their defense. They've gone to a zone. Eastwood penetrate. Oh, a great left-handed scoop shot, but it won't go. Too hard off the back iron. And a good defensive effort that time by Indiahoma as they went to a zone defense and played pretty aggressive, and Mustangs had a good shot at it, just didn't get it to drop. There's a drive. 15-footer straight away, almost went in by Plaster, but he was fouled by Ian Taylor. And so Dylan Plaster will be at the line shooting 2. Plaster's played well here in the second half. He's 1 out of 2 at the line. And then he makes the first. Got 14 on the night. And he makes the second. 3 out of 4 at the line for Dylan. And it's back to an 11-point lead. Mustangs on top. 7:15 to play in the contest. Left side Biddy to Ian Taylor, over to Willits. And he starts to drive a little too quick, and they called him for shuffling his feet. That's a couple of times they've caught him doing that. He's going to have to slow down just a tad. And it's a turnover to the Warriors. Sunray into the front court. Diddy on him. Mustang still in that man-to-man defense. Crossover dribble by Tom. Plaster lays it up and in. Dylan Plaster. Made 4 field goals in a row here in the last half. 44-35. Eastwood gets loose, lays it up and in. That's a great pass there from Biddy into Eastwood for the easy 2. Back to an 11-point lead, Fort Cobb. 6.5 to play in the ball game. We were talking about the poles earlier. There's a 17-foot jumper, that time by Plaster. Couldn't get that one to fall. And Eastwood down into the front court. Nice move that time as he went around his defender Sunray, and Eastwood lays it in for an easy 2, and Sunray could do nothing but shake his head and think, well, I can't really stop that. 13-point lead for Fort Cobb. Sunray with it. Kind of trapped out front. Biddy doing a good job. Hacked it away from him, but they say he caught him on the forearm. And that'll be the 4th team foul on the Mustangs. And the first personal on Biddy. And Rocky Mountain will come in to replace Jake. And the Warriors will inbound along the baseline. Stay tuned after the ball game, folks, and we'll have our post-game report, give you the unofficial statistics of this ball game. Nice crossover, jump shot no good, but Plaster looked really good, just didn't go in. Missed 2 in a row. There's a nice move by Eastwood, layup good, and he's fouled. And this will be his 3rd 3-point play attempt of the night. It's just hard to handle. He handles the ball so well. There's a timeout taken by Coach Zach Gibson of the Warriors. It'll be a full timeout. 50-35 our score. As I was saying, Eastwood, he's such a good ball handler. He can handle the ball so well that he'll draw you out on him, and then he goes around you, and got an excellent jump shot, and just difficult guard for anybody. Thanks for joining us, folks. I hope you've enjoyed our broadcast. We'll try to bring you all the games this season. I know it's kind of uncomfortable to have a Fort Cobb game and the gym is open and the lights are on and the Mustangs are playing and you're sitting at home on a Friday night. I know that's not fun, I know. And hopefully this COVID will go away one of these days and we can all gather together in these gyms and cheer on our favorite teams. But I know it's not like being here when you're sitting at home. But we appreciate you joining us, and I hope you're enjoying the broadcast. And go by and tell our sponsors that you appreciate them. Go by and tell your administrators at Fort Cobb School for thanking them for getting this equipment, this technology available so that the games can be brought to your living room. At the line will be Tyson Eastwood to convert the three-point play attempt. He's 3 of 4 from the line so far. He's got 21 on the night so far. Make it 22 as he cans it. 3 out of 4 from the line for Eastwood. 51-35 our score. 5.5 to play in the contest. Dylan Plaster played well tonight. Tries to get the ball down low to Reyna, but good defense by the Mustangs as they collapsed on Reyna and tapped it away. Mustangs always play good post defense. The Mustangs never have any real tall players, but they know how to guard the post. They collapse around the ball when it gets deep down there. They're known for that. Hard to get an open shot, and there's going to be a foul on Jackson Willits, they say. That'll be his first personal and the 5th team foul. And Indiahoma set the inbound. See what kind of offense they can muster. There's a 3-point shot by Watson, no good. He's been quiet here in the second half. Made a lot of shots in the first half. Tyson Eastwood lays it in for 2 once again. (53-35), 18-point lead. Watson has it knocked away. Good hands by Woods, picked up by Willits, racing it into the front court. Ian Taylor, left wing 3 on the way, good. Good basket by Ian Taylor for his first 3-pointer of the evening. That gives him 7 on the night. Biggest lead at 21, 56-35. The Mustangs begin to pull away here late in the contest. Plaster, 3-pointer, left side, off the glass and good. I believe that's 2 of those he's made tonight. Dylan Plaster with his first 3-pointer. And the ball is loose, but it's going to be a foul charged to Trace Thomason. His 3rd personal, a 16 foul. J.J. McClung checks in, replacing Watson for Indiahoma. We're almost halfway through this 4th period. Good opening night for the Mustangs. Indiahoma's put up a good battle and got a pretty good ball club themselves. Eastwood trying to get by Sunray. 15-foot elbow jumper won't go. Indiahoma's had some good teams over the years in baseball and basketball down through years. Indiahoma located over west of Lawton, west of Cache, out there on the highway a few miles. I think it's about 25 miles west of Lawton. Got a proud tradition over there. Long 3-pointer, no good by McClung. He's 0 for 4 from deep. Cross court pass to Eastwood. And the ball is tapped away by Indiahoma, trying to get it down the mountain. 3:21 to play, and we're going to have a substitution for Indiahoma as number 2 will make his first appearance in the contest. That's Blake Baldwin replacing Jake McClung. And there's a steal almost by Plaster, but he couldn't hang on to it. He went out of bounds and stay with Fort Cobb. Taylor to inbound. Gets it to Eastwood. I feel sorry for Baldwin. He's just come in off the bench and he's got the assignment of trying to guard Eastwood. Thanks a lot, Coach. Eastwood out to the center circle. Almost stepped on the line. Now he'll set to go. Goes around Baldwin. A late foot jumper. Good. Tyson Eastwood had on his mind to make a basket, and he did. 58-38. 20-point contest. .26 so far on the night for Eastwood. Outstanding night for the senior. There's a nice drive by Rocky Mountain, but he couldn't get the shot in. A couple of those close ones he's missed, and there's a travel. Jake Biddy will check in for the Mustangs, replacing Rocky Mountain. .220 to play in the ball game. And it's Friday night in the big town, as Gary England used to say. Three-pointer by Eastwood, no good. And it sticks in a little crease there between the rim and the backboard. It's always a fun thing. I remember seeing that from years past, and it seems like when the girls do it, they're always real embarrassed. I don't think it bothers the boys too much. 58-38. 2:06 to play. Ball game. And there's going to be a whistle and a stoppage as Coach Zach Gibson is going to take a timeout. 2 minutes to play in the ball game. This game being brought to you by the Ouachita Valley Bank of Fort Cobb, Oklahoma. Been in business since 1902. Fast, friendly service. Go down to the Ouachita Valley Bank. Talk to the professionals down there. Carnegie Telephone Company, located in Carnegie, Oklahoma. They installing high-speed internet connections here in Fort Cobb. Been around the Caddo County for a long, long time. Need any telephone needs, internet needs, be sure and give Carnegie Telephone a call. ABC Superior Real Estate Agency, Shelley Dissy. Been an agent here for many, many years. If you want to buy or sell some property, give Shelley a call. ABC Superior Real Estate. Southwest Driving School, located in Anadarko, operated by Mr. Kent Sexton. If you need some driver's ed training for your high school student, or for anybody for that matter of age, just call the Southwest Driving School over in Anadarko. Thanks a lot to those folks for sponsoring our broadcast. Appreciate them very much. 2 minutes to play in the ball game, and it will be Indiahoma's basketball. Inbounding will be DeHosen Sunray. Gets it out front to Plaster, who's played a nice ball game. Ian Taylor on him. Mustangs have, once again, I mentioned Kyler Denton out injured, recovering from some surgery. There's a near steal, and going to have a foul on Indiahoma as Sunray got a hold of Biddy to stop the fast break. But when they get Kyler Denton back, they'll have another weapon. He's a good outside shooter, especially along that baseline. Good forward, good rebounder, and look forward to his return here soon. And it looks like Indiahoma is going to send in some substitutions now. Number 4 is Chance Parker Perez. Number 12 is Justin Davis. 0 is Timmy Martinez. Number 2 is Blake Baldwin. And number 10 is stay on the floor, Dylan Plaster. And in for the Mustangs, number 30 is Lance Anderson. 23 is Brody Devon. Number 20 is Cade Audebo. And number 32 is Aiden Lewis, who's been in the ballgame previously. And Jake Biddy is at the line, shooting 1-1. And set to come in momentarily will be Camden Parker. And Biddy's free throw is off the back iron, no good. And we're going to have a foul on the rebound. Foul on Lewis. And Camden Parker will check in, replacing Jake Biddy. Camden is a junior for the Mustangs with 1:40 to play in a contest. 58-38 our score. Good to see all the boys get in the contest tonight. Out front is Stinson. There's a long three-pointer, no good by Blake Baldwin. Rebound of the Mustangs. That's Devon with it. Over to Anderson. Parker. Near steal. Devon has it. call him for traveling, and he kind of got tied up there with Blake Baldwin. Is a good idea. He kind of got his feet tangled up there along with his arms and turned it over. A minute to play in the contest. Stay tuned after the contest, folks. We'll take a short timeout. When we come back, we'll have the wrap-up for you, the final scoring numbers, as there's an offensive foul charge to Timmy Martinez. It's good position that time by Cade Audubon. He stood in there and took the charge. As I was mentioning, if you'll stay tuned for a couple of minutes after the game, we'll have our scoring wrap-up, statistical review of the contest tonight. Only have one contest tonight if you're just joining us late. Indiahoma girls were not able to make the trip tonight because of someone associated with their team has tested positive for COVID late today, and so kind of at the last minute, the Lady Warriors were unable to attend due to some COVID protocols. So we just have one contest tonight. As a free throw, no good by Lewis. So we just had one contest, so we'll be home early tonight. 20-point ball game, 58-38. 18 seconds to play. Long three-pointer by Baldwin. Good. Old Blake Baldwin. Cans a three-pointer. He's 1 out of 2 from that distance. It's 58-41. That'll probably be the final score. I don't figure Fort Cobb will. Parker with it. Audubon, 2 seconds. Devon will do it. And that's your final score. The Fort Cobb Broxton Mustangs have defeated the Indiahoma Warriors in their home opener tonight, 58-41. And congratulations to both teams on their effort tonight. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have our post-game report and give you the final statistics. You're listening to Fort Cobb Broxton basketball on FCBMustangs.tv. Just a second. All right, welcome back to the Fort Cobb Broxton Gymnasium. We'll give you some final wrap-up of the contest tonight. Mustangs win 58-41. Scoring for Indiahoma tonight. Blake Baldwin made a late three-pointer there. He had 3 points on the night. Trace Thomason had a three-pointer in the second half for 3 points. Antonio Reyna had a field goal and a free throw for 3 points. Quentin Watson had 4 three-pointers there in the first half, and he made 12. And the player of the game for Indiahoma tonight was Dylan Plaster, who played really well, especially in the second half, and he finished with 20 points on the night. Overall, they were 4 out of 5 from the free throw line. They were 14 out of 43 from the field for 32%. That's their 41 points for Indiahoma. For the Mustangs, their scoring were Ian Taylor had 7, Jake Biddy had 2, Rocky Mountain had 9, Drew Woods had 2, Jackson Willits with 12, and Tyson Eastwood with 26. These are unofficial scoring totals, but nevertheless, I had Tyson Eastwood, the leading scorer tonight, at 26 points. I don't have the shooting percentages for the Mustangs. They shot 57% in the first half. In the second half, I think they picked it up just a tad. So good shooting night overall for the Mustangs. 58-41 on a solid victory over a pretty game Indiahoma team. And so it is a good night for them. The Mustangs' next game will be next Friday night, as Chattanooga Warriors will also travel to Fort Cobb, and they will be here next Friday night at 6:30 for the girls' contest. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, the Ouachita Valley Bank of Fort Cobb, Carnegie Telephone of Carnegie, ABC Superior Real Estate Agency, and the Southwest Driving School at Anadarko. I'd like to thank our engineer tonight, and engineer all season, Enrique Aluena. Appreciate all his great work here, and most of all, folks, we appreciate all you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and we'll see you next week. So good night, everybody.